All right, everyone, this is Vishal from Equity Guru, and welcome to Chart Attack, where we look at some of the best looking financial setups out on the markets. And I want to talk about Bitcoin today, but before we do that, we have to talk about Shiba Inu. This is a type of chart that I really love because it shows all the elements of my market structure strategy. We have our downtrend, we have our range, and now we are beginning our uptrend. So all markets move in this way, but you don't see charts as clean as this all the time. And when you see something like this with a range that's prolonged like that, I think it's really fun to play, especially when you get the breakout like we had there. Regardless if it was because of Elon Musk tweeting about this token. But a nice 200% plus move for Shiba Inu in this week. And, we were up like, well, what is this? 48% today. So absolutely crazy. But that's a breakout. And these are the type of breakouts that you see in cryptos, especially the altcoins, a lot. You used to see this in some of the Forex pairs back in the day. But again, just simple market structure. And if you can find these type of patterns, just keep on repeating, rinsing, repeating, rinsing, repeating, and you are good to go. So obviously with the altcoins going, we got to take a look at Bitcoin, because when Bitcoin moves, a lot of the alts tend to follow it. Of course, there are some that diverge and do their own thing. Doge, some would say Shiba as well, because of the whole retail crowd aspect. But let's take a look at Bitcoin. And I did write about this today. Bitcoin and cryptos explode higher on Bitcoin ETF optimism. Really, there was no catalyst. There was really no obvious catalyst for the news for these pops in cryptos. But there was some good news. We heard Jerome Powell and the chairman of the SEC, Gary Gensler, mention that there will be no ban like any type of China like crypto ban or Bitcoin ban in the United States. And there's talk about the Bitcoin ETF, not spot, but a future-based Bitcoin ETF, likely to come down the pipeline or maybe even be approved on October 18th, which interestingly enough is when the debt ceiling deadline happens. But circle that date on your calendar, October 18th. But I just like to look at technicals, and this was a very, very big support zone that we looked at around the 40K zone here. Now it's a confirmed flip zone. As you can see, resistance, 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 support, support, very major level. And we had one here. I put mine down around 48, 49K, but I think you could extend this up to 50K, which is a big, a very important psychological number for Bitcoin. And as you guys can see, we did close above 50K yesterday. And not only that, but we closed above this makeshift trend line that I also drew, connecting this the previous record all-time high with this recent high here on September 7th. We've broken above that. Take a look at that. I mean, you can't make that up. Look at today's daily candle and look at how our wick, we actually pulled back to retest that trend line before taking off. So, folks, these technicals work. A lot of people take a look at this, and I think you should add it to your arsenal. But a nice pop here on Bitcoin. And to be honest, folks, this was some interim resistance, right? So I warned about that resistance level in today's article. If we get a close below this resistance level, sure, there might be some weakness, but it looks like we're going to have a very nice, strong close above 52,800. 60K, folks, that seems like the next logical resistance level. And then from there, can we take out 63,880 and make all-time record highs on Bitcoin? And you guys sort of know my take on cryptos. I'm bullish on the long term, just because I think it's probably a better bet than holding fiat. I'm bullish both gold and Bitcoin, so I'm not just team gold or team Bitcoin. I like both because I think there are ways out of fiat. Big question going forward, are cryptos cash or are they an asset class? That's a big debate going forward, because if it's cash, there might be issues with a central bank digital currency, because central banks like to have that monopoly over cash and spending money. But if it's a digital asset, then we'll take a look at cryptos and how they respond in risk on and off elements. And one thing we should note is that crypto does not have any price action history during a financial crisis. So if there is one upcoming, I'm not saying there's going to be one upcoming, but if there is, then we'll see the true test for cryptos and how they react when there is a financial crisis. Obviously we've seen how cryptos react with a short recession, which we had with the COVID pandemic. But I think a financial crisis, when money is selling stocks and going into bonds or going into the dollar or going into gold, will that money also go into cryptocurrencies? And that's the big test going forward. But a very, very important technical break here on Bitcoin. 60K seems the place to target next. On Ethereum, so we climbed back above 3,200, which I did talk about in a previous video actually last week, because we were just ranging between 3,200 and 2,800. We got that close above 3,200. Basically, the downside was nullified, and we were expecting prices to move higher, which they have. But as you can see, unlike Bitcoin, Ethereum is actually finding some resistance at this interim resistance level at 3,600. So we shall watch to see if we can get a nice break back above that. But if we do, there's some resistance here at 4K, but we're likely going to 4,200. And I think this is important due to the popularity in decentralized finance tokens and also NFTs. So keep your eyes on that target, on that breakout, which I think is probably imminent. And given this move in Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin does move higher up to 60K, I think it's very likely your Ethereum follows and a whole bunch of other altcoin follows, and we'll probably see the total market cap exceed past 2.57 trillion in the upcoming months, probably by the end of the year, if that technical break does follow and gain some steam. The only thing that can nullify this is a break and close back below 50K. That will take out a lot of the bullish momentum. But sorry about that, folks. That was a bit of a long one, but let me know what you guys think of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Are you buying this? Do you think Bitcoin exceeds 60K by the end of this year? Are we going to hit 100K by the end of this year? 200K? I've seen even some people say $1 trillion Bitcoin in the future. Let me know what you guys think about Bitcoin. Let me know if you're buying Bitcoin after this breakout. Really like to know. Be sure to give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and also be sure to follow Equity Guru at all our social media links, and also join our Discord chat where I talk about crypto charts basically on a daily basis. All of those links are in the description box below, and I will see you guys in the next one.